Jalen Hurts and the Miami Dolphins taking on Kellen Mond and the Minnesota Vikings.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. Looks to throw on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the gun, here's Mond. Pressure comes and down he goes. Julian Okwara able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. First down and much more here for Jones. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. 53 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Gaskin into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Jones. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Chris Godwin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. You've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that stuff.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use. Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
58 yards on the ground for him so far. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Hurts to throw. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on down. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going forward there was the right call.
There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 20 carries, 124 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 32. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Takes it down to the 10-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Second down and goal. Mon. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Emmanuel Agba able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now from way back there after the sack, it's 3rd and goal, a long 3rd and goal. Mond out of the shotgun. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Julian Okwara able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Play action. Here's Hurts sliding out of the pocket. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Chris Godwin. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Julian Okwara able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there for the Dolphins.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just help receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air. Nice chunk of yardage there. And then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down. On second down, it's Jones. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Hurts. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Mon to the air on 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Mon now off of play action. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Cook following the penalty. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Julian Okwara in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They go play action with Hurts. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
They'll roll him out right. They're targeting Godwin once more, this time complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Throwing is Hurts. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. C.J. Uzomah in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Sanders on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So the two teams will head to the locker room. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Here's Jones again on second down. First down and much more here for Jones. And finally brought down at the 43. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. He's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Jones. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Hurts. That's going to be caught by Waddle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down. Now Mond. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Third down from the gun, it's Mond. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Eric Kendricks, his second sack of the night. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
He's got long over the middle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, with his size, you've really got to wrap up because arm tackles, they're not going to cut it. And that time, he used his full-grown man strength to fight off his defender and pick up the first down.
On first down, Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet. But they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taking it about the 16. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They go play action here. Mon. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Mon looks to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out.
And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
104 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
Now back to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Hurts fumbles it.
And now we got an injured player, and unfortunately that's the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who's down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long.
First throw now for the backup Tua Tagovailoa. Open man is Uzama. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. The Dolphins on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Miami. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On first down, here's Mon. He finds his man, complete. It's Love. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Here's Mon. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Miami set to take over. And this game just illustrates how important home field really is. On paper, didn't look like much of a matchup, but now it's looking like it'll become one of the big surprises of the weekend.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, so much for bluffing the defensive line into thinking that they were going to be able to get to the quarterback. Instead, they sniffed out the screen pass and made a really nice play for lost yardage.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Miami. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Mon going to throw it.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Returnable here from the 38.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it is 28-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Now this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mon. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins.